Coming up on Mountain News this morning, hear from local health officials who are concerned after Sunday's record COVID-19 numbers here in the Commonwealth. And we bring you an update this morning on the legal battle involving Governor Beshear's COVID-19 orders. Plus, we take a look at new regulations now in place as Governor Andy Beshear hopes to flatten the curve of coronavirus cases in Kentucky once again.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock on this Tuesday, July the 21st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, if you're somebody who likes to fall asleep at, say, 7 or 8 o'clock, you had some thunderstorms yesterday that would have been great to put you to sleep. Let's see if we can dial in a little bit of that action again tomorrow or today. So let's bring Brandon in this morning to give us a breakdown of just what to expect on this Tuesday. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Will. I was actually standing out on my front porch watching it last night as it came through because it was very electrical, lots of lightning there, and I think we have the possibility for some more of those stronger storms today, so keep that in mind as we head through the day and you plan your forecast out. You'll see this morning some pretty dense fog across parts of the area. 0 visibility Williamsburg, 2.5 miles at Harlan there, 4 Monticello, so just take it easy out there this morning. Take it slow, that patchy dense fog around. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, so air temperatures a touch cooler this morning than they have been, but again, it's still muggy out there. Out the door forecast this morning back to 92. We got to 93 yesterday at the National Weather Service office at Jackson, and again, you're going to see a hot and humid forecast and more chances for those stronger storms later today. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Well, Kentucky reported 258 new cases of COVID-19 last night. However, that number is likely lower because of lab closings during the weekend. As of last night, 23,414 Kentuckians have tested positive. Governor Beshear also announced one additional death, bringing the death toll to 671. The new cases have the state's positivity rate at just more than 4.5%. Well, those numbers following Sunday's record number of 979 new COVID-19 cases. As the surge continues across the state, officials are emphasizing social distancing, wearing a mask, and continuing with hand hygiene. Pikeville Medical Center Director for Infectious Diseases, Dr. Fadi Al-Cross, says he is concerned about the increase in numbers and what could happen as a result.
And I'm really concerned about that at this point. If we're going to keep seeing a steep upward trajectory in the number of cases, this is what's going to affect the economy. And some government may not only pause economy on hold, they may take drastic actions and may ask for the rollback as well.
Dr. Al-Cross emphasized that he has personally seen how this virus impacts people of all ages. Well, we want to bring you an update this morning on the legal battle involving Governor Beshear's COVID-19 orders. The Kentucky Supreme Court says attorneys for Governor Beshear and Attorney General Daniel Cameron have until August 4th to file briefs on their arguments. Last week, the state's high court intervened and said the governor's orders would stand for now. The Attorney General had asked a circuit judge to block them, saying the orders were unconstitutional. A spokesperson for the court said the justices will review the briefs and decide whether to schedule oral arguments or if they will make a ruling. Governor Beshear says he is hopeful Kentucky will see a drop in new cases if everyone follows the mandatory mask order. Health leaders say people refusing to wear masks is part of the reason for the rise in cases, and they're continuing on business to make sure customers are wearing masks. This North Central District Health Department says so far they have not had to go beyond verbal warnings for businesses not in compliance, but they are focused on education over citations. Well, Governor Beshear is also rolling back the number of people allowed at social gatherings. He says that larger get-togethers have allowed the virus to spread. He says many people have let their guard down, leading social gatherings to be the second biggest cause of this new increase.
Too much spread from 50 people getting together in somebody's backyard or in their neighborhood. Now, I know 10 is different, but 10 is much more manageable. It can contain the spread, and if everybody could help us out with that, again, we don't want to become Arizona or Florida. Florida is 11 to 16,000 cases a day.
The limited gatherings do not impact things like weddings, restaurants, and bars. The governor also says many of the recent cases are linked to travel to coronavirus hotspots. That's leading to a new travel advisory this morning. Here's a look at the 9 states that are under that advisory issued yesterday. All of them, positivity rates above 15%. And anyone who travels there is being told to self-quarantine for 14 days. The governor emphasized that if this is not done, August may begin to look a lot like March did. The governor also said the state was moving towards testing more to allow more access to Kentuckians. Well, with those cases on the rise, going back to work or sending your children back to school could lead to some difficult decisions. But there is an option for some families. In mid-March, Congress passed a paid leave program called the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. According to the Department of Labor, businesses with less than 500 employees must provide 2 weeks of sick leave at 2/3 pay if an employee has to watch their child whose care has been impacted by COVID-19.
If families are having difficulty choosing between their job, their paycheck, and taking care of their children, it's really, really important that they consult with their employer and their HR professional to understand what the options are.
The act also allows for up to an additional 10 weeks of paid extended family and medical leave if you've worked at the business for at least 30 days. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, we show you what U.S. Senate candidate Amy McGrath has to say about how leaders are dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
More heat, more humidity, more storms. We're tracking all of those today. We'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.